There are questions to answer, and there are also mysteries to uphold. Because of the obligation to both, to answer sincere questions and to uphold sacred mysteries. This creates the tension within the field, the tension which manifests as a desire to know, which manifests as a frustration to understand, which manifests as a sense of privilege when accessing that which was mysterious, a sense of greater responsibility based in the access to knowing, and a greater sense of entitlement if one is able to restrict access to knowing and retain control over the keys to the mysteries. This is what happens in your systems of education, in your professions, in your systems of government, of finance. These are the things that hold you back. For by and large, you do not withhold the sacred. The sacred, it flows. It unfolds and it enfolds. But you are not to withhold it. The great cosmic mysteries, the divine knowings, these unfold in time and proper sequence, in proper procession, for they carry with such knowledge also such great power, also such great responsibility. If you are to access even a small amount of these great mysteries, and you think you can take that and turn it into your profit instrument to support your quest for fame and fortune, or for control, or for your great desire to be worshipped as a guru, a master, a prophet, a divine incarnation. Then you are perverting the intent of Source, enshrouding these mysteries and in unfolding the mechanism and the route, the path to the access of these mysteries. You would be perverting them and the process and the gift. It is time to call upon what is called this New Age movement, what is called this movement of enlightenment, what is called this transition from Piscean to Aquarian, from third dimension to fifth dimension, etc. All of these efforts, all of these movements must be called to higher accountability now. Even your international gatherings, your gatherings of governance, your gatherings to address the problems of the world are still marred by the politicking and the jockeying for position of who will be anointed the next tier of leadership in bringing forth solutions to this planet. The competition amongst those who profess to be masters, who knows more than whom? Whose storebox of the great mysteries is more legitimate, more comprehensive, more true, more anointed than another? Whose indigenous tradition is most pure and real and rich and necessary and relevant to this day, such that even amongst indigenous, there is competition between and within. This is because you have not balanced the deeper understanding of how to process this relationship of the journey of knowing, the right to know, and the unfoldment of the sacred mysteries. You rush to write your books at the moment's revelation, the moment's opportunity in the marketplace, the trend in popular culture. You rush to declare yourself so inspired, so anointed. You erect your institutions to preserve these mysteries, the knowledge thereof. And in so doing, so often, you pervert them. Is this not what is happening in your churches? Is this not what is happening amongst your scientists? How can you allow greed and ego to become more sacred to you than the essence of source, the essence of divine flow, which is the most sacred of all sacred? And yet you allow your greed, you allow your politics, you allow the perverted concept of ownership of knowledge to be your God. You thirst to find the next hidden secret so that you can exploit it. You can capitalize on it. You can have a leg up, an advantage over, and an opportunity to seize control. You can have a means to profit, to be in first position, and to carve for yourself a dominion and a legacy, that you be known as being such a great one, so smart, so brilliant, so genius. This thirst, yes, it sparks you to move with zeal and vigor in your world. It sparks you to seek and to find many new ways for innovation, for developments, for advancements. It sparks you to access much in the field of genius. And for some of you, it sparks the solutions that you so generously give and bequeath onto this environment from the deep love of your heart and your knowing of your purpose. And this, yes, is known. You are known. You are honored. And yet for the majority of you, you seek to know so that you can gain, so that you can exploit far more than you can give. So many of you have been given access to knowledge that is far more advanced than this civilization unto itself has attained the grasp and the mastery of. You have been given some of this knowledge, and so many of you have immediately converted it into enterprise for yourselves and your kind. You wish to be billionaires. You wish to be in charge. You wish to use it as weapons. You wish to be number one. It is not intended for this. This knowledge, these technologies, they are not intended for your use in such a way. This planet no longer needs to live and operate on the flow of profit and commerce. It is time for you to allow yourselves to see another way. It is time for you to come back to the realization that all that you are given is sacred, that you do not own knowledge, no more than you own this earth upon which you walk, and that upon access to knowledge and upon the unveiling of any of the great mysteries that you come to understand, it is important for you to share. Share from the true love, the very true love that brought forth that knowledge in the very first place and kept it suspended in the field of access, that you be given the opportunity from time to time to glimpse into that field, to retrieve a small amount of that knowledge, that you remember that it is sacred, that you remember your responsibility that extends far beyond your becoming the next Forbes member, or that you become the next leading celebrity. Use this knowledge. It will not stop coming. And it is important for you to know that if you misuse it, the great powers contained within this knowledge that are procreative can also become even more distorted and can become destructively applied on a scale that you do not even remember. This is why we come to you with this plea today, that you know knowledge as sacred, you hold it as sacred, you hold your responsibility for this knowledge as sacred, that you understand that the evolution of humanity and of this planet will not be achieved so long as greed dominates your consciousness, self-interest. Give it a time to rest, a time to heal the woundedness within you that calls forth so hard, so harshly and so strongly for self-validation through profit, through acclamation. Know that that is simply the wounded side, the wounded aspect of your being that makes you so relentlessly pursue profit, the exploitation of opportunity, and the suppression of one another. This you can grow beyond. This is our message for today. Please heed. And blessings.